Let's go to Josh.
No, wait a minute. I've already got the numbers. In fact, we'll put Josh up here.
You want to put?
Yeah, because I want to give Josh. I want to give Josh.
Hope he's not. Are you paying attention to this, Pastner? By the way, are you? No, you're innocent.
I've listened to it, but I don't. I'm trying to figure it out. Just through my mental capacity.
Okay.
So fill me in.
On the record here, don't say a word, and you'll be.
Yeah,
you won't be a partner in the crime. How's that?
Well, there's no guilty parties here. There's none.
Oh, great.
I mean, for example, Georgia Tech basketball.
Oh no!
He's
right here.
I'd rather look him right in the eye and tell him this than here's a buddy go, hey, did you hear what those idiots on Packer and Durham said? Josh, here's the deal. Georgia Tech, ACC games only. You have attempted 72. You've attempted 72 free throws. Your opponent's 89. You're a negative 17. Your opponents have shot 17 more free throws than you.
That's it. Smile and move on, right? Let's move on. There we go.
If it makes you feel any better, NC State and Florida State have shot 24 less. Small sample size. There's no need to get upset.
There you go. All right. Very good. Now we move on.
Congratulations on an unbelievable win on Saturday.
Well, yeah, I just plead the fifth. I'm not saying anything. I got three little daughters. I'm trying to get them through college and then into a wedding. So, I don't want any fines or anything. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
That's it. That is the infamous ACC index card.
Great.
That's how it works.
And I do want to say this, and I really believe this. Look, refereeing is a hard job. It's not easy. I think Brian Kersey and his crew do a great job. I really believe the ACC has the best officials. Of course, coaches are not always going to agree on every call, but we are very fortunate in our league to have the very best. And Brian's done an incredible job with the officiating, and I really do believe the best officials in the country are in the ACC.
All right, I want to switch gears to Saturday night. Are all road wins are good? Are there some that are great? And based on that statement, was Saturday night great for Georgia Tech?
Well, first of all road wins are not good, but they really are great, because what happens is for us, when we end up going to the gas station for road wins, those barbecue chips taste like a steak fillet at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse on road wins. So it does not matter, because our tradition is when we get a road win, we go to the gas station by the airport and just let the guys get snacks. It's kind of a incentive for them. So and there's Coach Reveneau, as you see there, and my assistant coach, with the guys. But that's kind of what we do. So all those snacks they're getting, it's literally like tasting a 5-star steak at the elite steak restaurant. That's how great road wins are. There's nothing like a road win.
Is there any truth to the matter that you're already petitioning the league to play every road game on Tobacco Road, the way you're going so far this year?
Well, let me just say this. And I told this in the press conference afterwards. Basketball is a game of energy. Life's about energy. I've been on the other side of it way more times than Coach Williams has, where you can scream, yell, do everything you can in preparation, but in the end, it's a player's game. And for us, we had an incredible first half. Carolina missed shots, and it just kind of snowballed, and we needed that lead in that first half. It just happens. And we've all been there, and I've been there more than most, so I get it on the other side of it, where you're just like pulling your hair out, and what can you do? And there's not a lot you can do. And so our guys are ready to play. But guys, here's what I've said. It's a guards game. Your guards have to play well. And our guards played well in that game, especially the first half, and we made threes. Guys like James Banks, Moses Wright, and then we had a great contribution from our bench. So we were fortunate. It's a make and miss game. We made our shots. Carolina missed their shots the first half, and the ball fell our way.
Josh, I want to ask you, and you mentioned Eric Reveneau, who's, I know, just done a remarkable job since joining you in Atlanta as your assistant. Jose Alvarado showed up in Atlanta. He wasn't a polished product, but he was a highly thought of guy coming into the program, right? Has any player improved more for you in Atlanta than Moses Wright?
Well, let me just say this. A couple things. Number one is we have not, and I've said this the last time we talked, we have not gotten the 5-star recruit. we not that we haven't tried, because anybody that knows me with recruiting, I work like an assistant in a sense where, I'm very hands-on. I'm going after it. But we just haven't been able to land that elite 5-star guy. So for us to have success, we have to have 5-star development. And my assistant coaches are great basketball teachers. Everyone who's worked here has been a really good basketball teacher, and it's the same thing with my assistants now. My associate head coach, Eric Reveneau, Coach Anthony Wilkins, Coach Julian Schwartz, they're really good teachers. And we haven't had that heralded guy. Even a guy like Josh Okogie, who wasn't one of the top 10 players in the state of Georgia, didn't start on his AAU team, his vast improvement. You look at a guy like a Ben Lammers. You look at a guy like Michael DeVoe going from his freshman year to his sophomore year. But Moses Wright, as you mentioned, did not have a scholarship offer coming out of high school. And his freshman year 2 years ago, in the North Carolina game, he played 20 seconds. He didn't go for a shot block. I subbed him out. 2 years later, he was the best player on the floor besides maybe Garrison Brooks on his numbers. Right. But Moses Wright was really, really good. He's become ACC Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. He's become a high-level guy, and that's been a credit to him, but also our staff and his player development.
Coach, in a game like you had Saturday night, and your team's got the big lead, and you're sitting there looking at the clock going, all right, I wish this thing was down to 2 minutes. Let's get out of here, get the W. Do you get a sense like at halftime, you got to figure North Carolina's going to make a run, right? I mean, you're in Chapel Hill. You've just taken them to the woodshed for 20. You know they're not going to play that way the second half. Do you have a sense as a coach that, hey, I anticipate North Carolina's going to make a run? And is there a play or is there something that happens inside of you as a coach knowing that a run is coming? Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah. No, I was praying that the lights went out and they canceled the game, and because of our lead, they were just going to give us the win. When you're up 20 on the road against a team like North Carolina, it's way too much time. It's very similar to like getting a commitment from a kid in high school that's a sophomore, and you're like, do I really want the commitment because I got to babysit this commitment for the next 2 years before they sign? I mean, I'd rather you commit closer to the signing day. And the same thing with that lead. You're so thankful for the lead, but there's so much time. And boy, did we need that lead. And that lead allowed us, because they cut it within 9 a couple times, but we then answered every time. Michael DeVoe hit a couple shots late that stopped the bleeding. Jose Alvarado hit some big threes that stopped the bleeding. And then Bubba Parham hit a big shot that stopped the bleeding. And we made some free throws because they shot so well from the free throw line. We had to make our free throws. But, you're up 20. You just know a team like North Carolina, they're going to make the run. The crowd was loud. But we held on, and it was an entertaining game, especially the second half. It was high scoring. We needed all 96 points to win the game.
All right, here's the good news, though. You get this great win, pick up another league win, 2-0 on Tobacco Road, as Pac said. And now all of a sudden, here comes Duke. So how do you measure one to the other, or do you just go, hey guys, that's good what we did. Now here's the next challenge.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what's incredible about the ACC. I mean, it's just there's no nights off. I mean, you win the game versus Carolina, and then Sunday morning it's not that you forget about the win because it's a great win, but you got to move your attention now to Duke. And that's what this league's about. I mean, prior to North Carolina, 3 days prior, we're playing at Florida State. And I think Florida State, as we've seen, I think they're as good as they were last year, they might be better this year. And Duke's kind of the same thing. As good as they were last year, they might be better this year. And it's not maybe about all the lottery picks. It's just the way the team's, in sync and flowing right now, especially with, they got Vernon Carey, who's obviously a lottery pick, but they got multiple guys, and then Trey Jones is really good. You got Coach K, one of the greatest ever to do it. So, but that's just the power of this league. This league is so good. It doesn't matter who you play. There's no such thing as a bad loss in this league. It's just all great wins anytime you can win in this league, and that's what makes this league the best in the country.
Well, we know Wednesday night's ball game, 9 o'clock start on ESPNU. Matt Schick and Dan Bonner will be there. We'll see you next Saturday in Boston for a 6 o'clock game here on ACC Network. Josh, thanks for the time.
Are you sure, Wes, I know you're doing our game on Saturday. Are you sure the Wednesday's game versus Duke's not ACC Network?
It's ESPNU, man.
Is it ESPNU? Okay. I
Or
thought
maybe
we
it
were
is ACC Network. We got so many networks now, Josh. It's embarrassing. We got people
Okay, well,
everywhere.
I just want to make sure we don't lose our ratings for the ACC network. So that's all. I'm just doing my part.
Hey, by the
I'm
way,
pretty
nice
sure
win.
Wednesday's ACC network. You know.
All right, nice win by the Texans. By the way, I know you're happy for your hometown team there.
They did. You know, when I was a big Houston Oilers guy, so once they moved to Tennessee, I kind of lost a little bit of my mojo with the Oilers. I was disappointed that the owner took them to Tennessee at the time, but I was a big Oilers fan back in the day.
Well, the good news is the
Do you
Titans
remember
won
the run
too.
and shoot? Do you remember the run and shoot?
Yeah, come on,
with Warren Moon and come on now.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Love you, Blue.
Hey, by the way, the game is on ACC Network. Durham has no idea what he's talking about.
I've been wrong a few times. The last time was like 1983 or 84, so I've been right since that time.
And if you need the updated numbers from the infamous ACC index code, I'll just fax them to you.
Hey, I'm totally staying away from that.
Exactly.
I'm totally staying away from that. Yeah.
Thank you, and have a great
All right,
week.
guys.
We'll see you next weekend. Josh Pastner, are you kidding what you're doing? Really?
The numbers are the numbers,
All right.
Wes. Don't get upset. This is exactly why the index card was so brilliant 20 years ago. I haven't formed any opinion. I just gave you what the numbers are.